You gotta accept that the narcissist lied, cheated, betrayed you. You gotta accept that you knew it and you looked the other way. You gotta accept that you took back the narcissist after they had cheated on you 25 times. You have to radically accept that you took them back. You have to radically accept that your self-esteem was shot. You have to radically accept that you had no self-worth at the time. You have to radically accept that you knew better and you still gave them the benefit of the doubt. What's up, my friendly friends? Welcome back to another cold-hearted episode of Psychopath Exposure. I'm your host, Kira. I hope you guys are doing well and staying free from psychopaths, narcissists, and toxic people this 2024, or if you're tuning in the year 3000. So, welcome everyone. Been hearing some people ask me about radical acceptance. Kita, can you make a video about radical acceptance? How can we practice radical acceptance when having to deal with the aftermath of a breakup from a psychopath, from a narcissist, from a toxic individual that was psychologically abusive, most likely cheated on you, most likely was having all sorts of affairs throughout the marriage, throughout the relationship, and you're left basically to rot, feel like a vegetable when you get out of these toxic entanglements. Unlike other relationships that hurt, I'm sure everyone here had their heart broken in high school, college. I'm sure everyone here suffered their first breakup with their high school sweetheart that you thought you were going to marry and start a family and have lots of kids together, and then that dream burst, right? But what is it about narcissists? What is it about these toxic individuals that have personality disorders that leave you in a state of disarray? Why can't you get your life back together as quickly as you can with those other relationships or those other marriages that came to an end abruptly, that they were sad, maybe they were difficult at the time, but you know, you grieved, you had your downtime, but eventually you came up over it and you started again. But when you're entangled with people like narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths, like these type of people, borderline personality disorder, things like that, it really does a number to your brain. I have a lot of my clients in my coaching program are always asking me, like, how I just can't deal with this. I just can't seem to feel like myself again. I just don't feel normal. So I wanted to talk about practical acceptance because it is a term that's thrown around a lot. Just like radical honesty is thrown around a lot. And what does it mean? Well, basically it just means acceptance. That's all it means. Just want to put the word radical in front of it. It's just acceptance. So let's talk about a little bit about acceptance. Okay, so it's a more hardcore form of acceptance. It means accepting without question things as they are, things as they happened. Nowhere in that sentence did I say you had to like it, you had to love it, you had to support it, you had to do it again. I didn't say none of those things. I just said accepting things as they are. Okay? So you had the bad luck of falling in love, falling head over heels for somebody that turned out to be a serial cheater, somebody that turned out to be a narcissist, narcissistic, abusive, an infidel, a cheater, a two-timer, a psychopath, a criminal even. You fell head over heels for this individual. This individual made your life, made your relationship a living hell. And now they're gone. Maybe they're out with the new supply, like we say. Maybe they already remarried somebody else. Maybe they're still in your life, haunting you, stalking you. Maybe they're still living in your house. You still haven't divorced the narcissist. You're still in the process of trying to escape, coming up with an exit strategy, maybe because you have children together. And as the days go by, you still kind of still have like a little hope that things are going to work out, that maybe things will return to the way things were. And maybe all of these narcissist videos that you've been binging, maybe we have it all wrong. And maybe in your situation, there's still hope. And this person who you've labeled a narcissist because you've watched tons of videos and it seems that you relate with the story, almost as if we're telling your story. All the patterns are there, like textbook. But you still feel that, nope, this can't be. This just can't be. I refuse to accept that my significant other is a narcissist, is a psychopath. I refuse to accept that this happened to me. It's not what it seems. It's probably my fault. It was probably me who created all this drama. Maybe I am a little overly sensitive. Maybe I'm paranoid. Maybe I'm a little too jealous, right? You have to accept things as they are. You can't continue gaslighting yourself. Guys, let me tell you, I'm sure the narcissist already gaslit you more than you could handle. You don't need to gaslight yourself. If you're watching these videos, if you've been watching these videos, if your therapist has told you, hey, your wife or your husband has narcissistic personality disorder, if they have diagnosed them, if you've been to couples therapy with your abuser, and then they buzz you and they, hey, look, I can't tell you this in front of them, but this is what they are. This is what you're dealing with, right? If you've experienced that and you refuse to accept that, then you're living in denial. You are denying. It's like denying that somebody passed. When somebody passes, you have to accept that they're gone. It doesn't mean that you like it. It doesn't mean that you don't feel grief. It doesn't mean that you don't feel sorrow. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't take time to grieve. It doesn't mean you shouldn't take time off from work. It doesn't mean that, hey, maybe you're not in the mood to listen to music for a few weeks. Maybe you've lost your appetite. Maybe you don't want to go out with your friends when they invite you and they're trying to take you out, trying to cheer you up. Maybe you just need to be alone to cry and reflect, right? Maybe that's what you need when you've lost a loved one. But you still have to radically accept that they're gone. Otherwise, you're going to be a crazy person thinking that this person's still alive. Same thing is with everything in life. If you got a plan and it starts to rain, and the rain technically ruined your plans, you gotta radically accept. Maybe God had bigger plans for me today. Maybe I was not meant to go out there. It's raining and now the game had to be canceled. The game was postponed because of a snowstorm, right? Those things happen. You got to accept it. Doesn't mean you gotta like it, but you have to accept it, because if you don't accept it, you are going to prolong the suffering. If you don't accept situation as it was, you're prolonging the suffering. You're not allowing healing to take place. I believe The reason why you guys are watching these videos is because you're looking for answers, you're looking for a path, the path towards healing. You're looking to accelerate the healing process. Maybe the reason it's taking so long is because you need to practice radical acceptance with your narcissistic relationship that came to an end. And it's a good thing that your narcissist relationship, not just a relationship, a narcissist relationship, a relationship with a psychopath, you must rejoice that that came to an end. Because you could still be in it. Imagine that. You could still be in a relationship with the narcissist that has been cheating and lying and abusing you for years. For those that are out of the narcissist relationship, you've already won. Believe me, you have already won. At this moment, you might feel like the one who lost because you discovered that the narcissist married the new supply, or you discovered the narcissist who had orchestrated this grand story and made all these promises that they weren't cheating on you, but okay, yes, maybe we should break up, it's not working out and whatever, and you think that they're going to meet somebody else at some point, and then you discover that the person that they're with, the person they're blasting on their social media, is the same person that you suspected that they were cheating on you with, or the same person that you caught them cheating on you with. Have to radically accept that that's what has happened, that's what has transpired, that's what's happening at the moment, and it has nothing to do with you, and it has nothing to do with liking the situation. Acceptance and liking are two totally different things. You gotta accept that the sun's gonna come up in the morning and set in the evening. You got to accept that if you're living somewhere in Europe, the sun's not going to go down at all for 6 months. And then the other 6 months, the sun's not even going to come up. Remember when I first visited Europe, I couldn't sleep for 3 days because the sun never went down. I was like, okay, what the heck's going on here? Like my brain won't shut off. And it's like, okay, so this is how it's going to be. I either accept it, radically accept it, and relax myself and allow myself to sleep, or I can continue wanting to hang out outside at 2 in the morning like if it was 2 in the afternoon. It's just not gonna, you know? So, but yeah, all jokes aside, back to the lecture. You know, like they say in 12-step programs, like the first step, you got to admit you got a problem. The very first step is admitting you got a problem, right? So you got to accept that you got a problem. You got to. If you don't, you're going against the grain, you're in denial. Nobody can help you if you don't admit that you have a problem. Nobody can help you if you don't accept that you are in a bind. You got to accept that the narcissist lied, cheated, betrayed you. You got to accept that you knew it and you looked the other way. You got to accept that you took back the narcissist after they had cheated on you 25 times. You have to radically accept that you took them back. You have to radically accept that your self-esteem was shot. You have to radically accept that you had no self-worth at the time. You have to radically accept that you knew better and you still gave them the benefit of the doubt. I had to do that, and I hated every minute of it, but I had to accept it. And the minute I accepted it, things started to get better. Of course, 0.009% better, but they started getting better. Because no longer was I in denial. I had accepted, yes, my narcissist ex was a lying, cheating psychopath. I had to accept that. I had to accept that I wasted years of my life with people that were not meant to be in my life. I wasted years of my life with people that came into my life probably to destroy areas of my life. I had to radically accept that people have come into my life to deviate me from my path. But at the same time, what's bad now ends up being good later. You get deviated from a path that you were on, where you were thriving and things were good, but you have no idea if you would have continued on that path, if you would have gotten hit by a bus the next day. And maybe, just maybe, a psychopathic, narcissistic, sociopathic, deranged, serial cheating, abusive liar came into your life to deviate you from that path that was going to unalive you, set you down a course that started dark, miserable. You got some trauma now that you didn't have before. But at the end of the path is a paradise that you had no idea you were going to end up in. And if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't arrive there. Think about it. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments. Remember to subscribe if this is your first time watching this video here in the channel. We talk about narcissistic relationships. We talk about psychopathic relationships. We talk about toxic people, trauma bonds, and radical acceptance, as we did today. Hope you guys are doing awesome. If you need help practicing radical acceptance with a narcissistic relationship, or if you're still in the narcissistic relationship, do not hesitate to reach out. I have a link below in the description. I have a coaching program. Would love to connect with you, work together with you. Help you see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, that there is a light at the end of this new path that the narcissist, that the psychopath set you on. Because things do get better, but you gotta start. It starts with practical acceptance. I meant to say radical acceptance. Probably should have been saying radical acceptance this whole time, but I'm only human and I screw things up from time to time. None of us get it right. So that's all I got for today, but I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Kita. This is Psychopath Exposure. I'll see you next time.